Sydney Cup at Randwick. Chantel will hear from Rachel King very shortly as she looks to go back-to-back in that race.
But yeah, I think we can just be pretty sort of neutral and ride our own race.
You'll pull out something, I'm sure. Have you come back off your high from last Saturday?
No, I'm still just trying to stay up there.
Good luck, Rach.
Thank you.
Spoiler alert, I haven't hit the winner of the Sydney Cup in 11 years, so I'll be brief. Mr. Monaco in great form at the moment. He's tough. River of Stars looks well placed. Litz Deal looks to be a hope. New Look racing okay. Machine Gun Gracie could be a surprise packet. For the sake of it, Mr. Monaco's my pick.
I admire you for keeping accurate records, Darren.
Yes. I've gotten field in the quaddie.
Here they are in the mounting yard for Harvey Norman. All you need in furniture, bedding, electrical and technology. And we'll start with River of Stars, who was 310 on the world pool, Tim, but 550 with you.
No, it's even shorter with us. We're $4.80.
$4.80?
So that's in from $7 this morning after scratchings and $11 on Tuesday when we first put the markets up. So the Whirlpool punters, there's just one factor with them, James McDonald. They love him, 310, and he's she, River of Stars, being a mare, is the only galloper that we've really laid since the pools commingled around about 10 a.m.
Okay, and I can see the NOP catching up to you now because it's 550 into 5 and you're 480.
Yes.
So here's River of Stars, McDonald and Waller.
Look, obviously everything's been centred around this race for her to peak on the right day, and I think she has. So, look, I can't come at 2-1 on the Whirlpool, and this has got to continue to firm here if that Whirlpool continues at that level. So, I like her, but I like her, at $8 chance. So, no knock if you're on at the good odds. I think she's presented beautifully.
Yeah, she is. She's just perfect now. Each run she's getting better and better, and I've said that in every yard, I've just said she's looking great. She's glowing. She's just got a great demeanour about her, and she's cherry ripe.
She ran third in this race last year. She's run second in a Caulfield Cup and fourth in a Melbourne Cup. Here's changing of the guard, Jason Collett, Chris Lees.
Well, I think he's the one at big overs here. I think he's a great little spec at massive odds here. From the good draw, he goes forward, blinkers back on. Drier track definitely to his advantage, and he's running on winner for me.
Yeah, probably the best he's been in the yard in terms of his demeanour. He's a horse that can get himself a little bit worked up, whereas last week he wasn't too bad. That run's just taken the edge off him, and he's just an absolute pony now, which is a really positive thing given the fact he's about to run 3,200.
Soul of Spain, Tommy Berry, Chris Waller.
Yeah, I think he's right there. I like the way he's going through the races, this preparation, with this being his target all the way along. Chris Waller's just so good at it with these 2-mile horses. So back to handicap conditions, I think has to be one of the top picks.
Yep, he's definitely ready. Like his stablemate, he's been primed for this. Last start was the run he needed to have to top him off. He's just been looking better and better. He's covering the ground beautifully. He's such a relaxed and content type of horse.
Whiskey on the Hill, Damien Lane, Glenn Thompson.
Yep, good win in the Roy Higgins last start. 2,600. Just wondering whether he may have been flattered by the softer track there, which he likes, but that's not saying he doesn't have any dry form at all.
Nice horse, actually. Carries himself beautifully. He's eager to get on with things. I'm not too sure if that's usual for him. I'm not saying he's above himself or anything. He's just ready to rock and roll. So he's travelled up nicely. He's very bright.
Valiant King, Jai McNeil, Chris Waller.
Well, he's a strong stayer. We know that. He's ready to improve. He ran third in a Caulfield Cup, fourth up last year. So I think they've looked at that pattern to peak him up fourth up again this year.
Yeah, he fits into that big progressive type of horse. He's just been getting better with each run. So he's at this top, and I think we should see a bit more than what we have from him.
On to piggyback, number 8, Zach Lloyd and Kieran Maher.
Blinkers are off. She's going well, if she's good enough. So I'm not sure at the end of 2 Mile here, but I'll never doubt Kieran Maher stays, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love that they're having a go with her over this trip. I've really fallen in love with her this preparation. She's just come back such a lovely big mare. She's nice and fit going into this. I guess that's the query, stepping out over this, but they've taken the blinkers off, and I think that's a positive.
Athabaskan, 5th last year, 2nd in 2024. 3rd attempt, Tom Sherry on for Tom Charlton.
Yeah, so the stable know his patterns as well. They train him up for this race every year, and he runs well in it. So he's been okay. I think his runs have been more than acceptable this prep.
Yeah. On paper, his run last week probably looked a little bit disappointing, but there were circumstances around it. It is a race that they prime him up for every time. He's such a gorgeous individual to look at, and he'll run much better than he did last Saturday.
Drew Akibo, Craig Williams, Kieran Maher.
No knock on his lead-up form. He gets in light and understandably has supporters.
Yeah, he's racing really consistently. His praise are always spot on, and today's no different.
Mr. Monaco, Jamie Millen, Kieran Maher.
Well, he's the one that's pretty well fresh blood to this level. He's 2 for 2 in Sydney now. He's progressing well. Needs a good ride. I don't think it looks easy from that awkward draw for Jamie here. So it just needs a few little run of the race things to fall his way.
I just don't know how he grinds away, and he's so tough because his parades are, well, I must say today's probably the best he's been, but he usually gets himself hot. He's always up on the toad, bouncing around. He's just got so much energy, and he's tough, and he just keeps grinding away. You wouldn't expect it looking at him, and he's probably never going to get pick of the yard because of it, but he's racing exceptionally well, and he deserves to be one of our favourites.
Now here's the big girl, number 12, Machine Gun Gracie, the West Aussie mare. Luke Cartwright for Ben Will and JD Hayes.
What a story this would be, going from a 1900 metre race to a Sydney Cup with a break between runs, and the 1900 was against her own sex as well. But look, she's only had the 10 starts. She's a Derby Oaks winner in Perth. She's adaptable, and it'll be a story and a half if she wins.
Yeah, well, as Ben pointed out to me in an early interview, he said it's pretty much like going from a Cox Plate to a Melbourne Cup, if you want to call it that. So the distance, they're not worried about at all. They've done a lot of uphill work with her apparently at home. She looks fit. She's a big mare, but she doesn't carry a great deal. She's on the leaner side, so I think they've got her pretty right for this.
Number 13, New Look, last week's winner of the Chairman's, Rachel King on for Busselton and Young.
Look, I know he's a Chairman's winner, but I do think he's better on wet tracks. Well, his form's telling me that anyway.
He's come through it really well. He's very bright. I don't think the run's taken anything out of him. Down in the weights, the dry track's probably the only worry for him, but I'm not going to knock his parade.
Let's Deal, Victorian, Danny O'Brien, Tyler Schiller.
Yeah, nice young staying mare in the right stable. Very good. They were beaten favourite last start. Back to a dry track suit, so I think she's a dangerous one.
Yeah, nice, neat mare. Carries herself well. Holds nice enough condition. She doesn't have a lot of condition on her, but what is there, she's holding it nicely.
Highland Bling, Ben Thompson, Philip Stokes.
Yeah, look, he's a powerful stayer. Was nudged out in a suspect Adelaide Cup. Interesting the move for him during the week. Someone likes him. I just think it's a harder race here.
He's getting himself a little bit hot. I'm not too sure if that's usual for him, but it's probably not what you want to see when they're about to run this trip.
Hutchins, number 16, Alicia Collett for Chris Waller.
He's been plugging away. Look, I think he has to lift. If he wins, the tab might just take a couple of weeks to settle all bets, but it'll arrive.
We might have a job after this if he wins. He's treading in the right direction. He has won over this trip previously. He's another one that's always full of energy in the yard. We're yet to see the best of him. Today might be the day.
Okay, 9 years ago, Corey Brown, he had to win this race twice before they gave him the trophy.
I told him not to run it again.
Who do you like?
Machine Gun Granny. I can't get off. She just looked absolutely outstanding in the yard. Like Chantel said, she doesn't carry a lot of extra condition, but she just looks all over a stayer. I know she's had a little bit of time between runs, but the Hayes boys know what they're doing, so she'll get a perfect run in transit. And yeah, she's definitely the pick of the yard for me.
She's tall and lean. Okay, Chantel, who do you like?
I'm going with the Waller runners here, Solar Spain to beat River of Stars. I just feel the pair of them are at the absolute top now, ready to peak, but I'm going to put Solar Spain on top. He just probably had that X factor in the yard.
I am for 14, 1 and 3. It's going to be a great watch, this, the 2 mile contest here. I think Solar Spain has been trained to the minute as well. He's a lovely horse, and I think he gets his opportunity to put the big Group 1 on the board here. I think Let's Deal, the Melbourne mare, can race really well. River of Stars fits in there well, and the best long shot for me is Changing of the Guard, number 3. I'm 4, 14, 1 and 3. Tim?
Best betting race of the day. We've laid just about every single runner, so it's been good from that perspective. We're going to make the favourite, the market mover, number 1, River of Stars. She's been a good firm all week. We're just pushing her back out again a little bit late here, but she's been a huge move since Tuesday. $11 taken on Tuesday. She was $7 after scratchings this morning. She's now your $5 favourite. Very short on the Whirlpool. The Whirlpool loves James McDonald. $3.20. He's ridden the last 2 winners, or not the last 2 winners, but he's ridden 2 out of the last 3 winners. And punters think he can do so again. $5 just taken back into $4.80, now back to $5. But Worst Way, very, very popular. She holds the most. Mr. Monaco is the horse that I had favourite. He's been a bit hard to lay. $4.50 Tuesday out to $5.50. Maybe punters want to be against him from the wide gate, but I thought he'd probably slot in. They'd string out here, and Jamie Mellon would find a spot for him. But he's been a bit easy. Machine Gun Gracie has been very firm. It surprises me off the preparation. And not a frontline jockey, Luke Cartwright on board, but the money's been so strong all week. $15 on Tuesday, $9 into $7.50 today. So she's up there with one of the best backed runners. Soul of Spain, he's just been hovering around the $8 price all week. I could argue his run was better than River of Stars in the Tancred, so they're probably a bit too far apart from my opinion. Juakibo's a firm today. He's been 13 into 10. He's had support. Litzdeel was 15 into 8, but she's been soft today. 8 out to 11. New Look's been soft on the dry track. 11 out to 13. Valiant King affirmed throughout the week. 26 into 16. And then we have to talk about Hutchins because we're running out of time here. 201 into 51. Ali Mosley was tipping it up at big odds. We've laid it to lose 1.7 million. Just back to 100 to 1 chance late now. The money's just starting to dry up. The liability's only around about $750,000, but overall back to win 1.5 million Hutchins. So it's been a go at long odds. River of Stars, your favourite though. It's best backed $5 with J Macon.
Only 3 out. Whiskey on the Hills coming up, so's Piggyback, and there's Mr. Monaco for Jamie Mellon about to walk up into the gates. They're starting over near the 900 metre mark with the rail out for 2 miles ahead of them. This is the Schweppes Sydney Cup.
Now, it's Sydney Cup time and the gates are back. They're off and racing over the 2 miles, and Litzdeel jumped well. So did Mr. Monaco, wide out rolling forward. Litzdeel there together with Juakibo. Now there's plenty having a crack here for the early positions. River of Stars is poking through. Then New Look Athabaskan. Whiskey on the Hill was there but dressed back now. On the outside of Piggyback, then Valiant King. A gap to Soul of Spain and Hutchins last of all. Right, coming to the turn the first time. Changing of the guard on the inside. Changing of the guard from Litzdeel. Juakibo 3 up, Machine Gun Gracie. Mr. Monaco is the widest and allowed to roll forward here in the hands of Jamie Mellon and is pushing on into a forward roll. Just off the speed, then came New Look, position down on the rail. Further back to River of Stars, Highland Bling. Then Athabaskan, Valiant King, Piggyback, Hutchins, Soul of Spain. Whiskey on the Hill is the last one. Changing of the guard with the blinkers on. Dry track today. Shows the way here for Jason Collett. And the well-fancied Mr. Monaco gets the spot at his hindquarters. Machine Gun Gracie goes to a clear third. 2 lengths away to Juakibo. Then New Look 5th down on the rails. Further back then to Litzdeel, well positioned in advance of Highland Bling, then River of Stars. From Valiant King, Athabaskan's Hutchins, Piggyback, Soul of Spain, Whiskey on the Hill is last, and about 16 lengths off the front runner. So it's changing of the guards at the 1800 metre mark, just loafing along, enjoying his action. Out by 2 lengths on Mr. Monaco. 2 further back to Machine Gun Gracie is travelling pretty strongly there in 3rd spot. New Look creeping a bit closer on the fence, followed by Juakibo. Highland Bling is pretty relaxed behind them in the red cap. Further back to Litzdeel, a length into Valiant King on the inside of River of Stars. A length and a half to Hutchins from Athabaskan, Piggyback, Soul of Spain, and Whiskey on the Hill is last of all. They've gone inside the 1400 metres in the Sydney Cup of 2026. And one of the long shots in front, changing of the guard by 3 lengths now on Mr. Monaco, and New Look continues to pinch ground going to 3rd, followed by Machine Gun Gracie sitting a bit wider. Further back to Highland Bling from Juakibo, Valiant King. River of Stars is taking off from back in the field. James McDonald said it's time to improve his position on the favourite, and River of Stars is starting a good run around the field. Changing of the guard inside the 1,000, leads by 4. Now 3, now 2. River of Stars moves up on the outside at New Look. Mr. Monaco's been relegated to 4th. Then came Machine Gun Gracie, followed by Hutchins. Further back then to Highland Bling, improving on the rails from Juakibo as they really up Bandy now coming to the turn. 600 metres to run, and New Look now moved up. 2 changing of the guard, and River of Stars is being pushed along in 3rd, having taken off early. Mr. Monaco's under the pump. Further back to Highland Bling running into it. Into the straight, changing of the guard, giving a great sight from New Look, and Highland Bling's coming off heels. Further back, Solar Spain running on. Changing of the guard, 250 to go, beat off New Look. Then Solar Spain, Highland Bling. Further back to Piggy back. Let's deal with a big run late. Changing of the guard inside the 100, and narrow leader from Solar Spain holding. Then came Highland Bling, but changing of the guard has won the Sydney Cup at big odds, beating Solar Spain and Highland Bling. Then Athabascan Lit Steel. Further back to Piggy back. New Look. River of Stars took off early but didn't see out the distance. Further back, Mr. Monaco, beaten a long way out. Then Valiant King from Hutchins, Machine Gun Gracie, Whiskey on the Hill, and Juakibo.
Changing of the guard, Chris Lees and Jason Collett. Jason Collett today wins his first Sydney Cup. Chris Lees wins his second. His first was with the old warhorse County Tyrone, who amazingly ran in 6 Sydney Cups, winning one of them. And these colours have been successful in a Sydney Cup in the past. Many Melbourne Cups, but Major Drive, Gallic, Galante. Now changing of the guard. Maruyan was another one. 3, 4, 15 and 9. Changing of the guard, holds out Soul of Spain and Highland Bling with 9, Athabascan in 4th.
He's an old hardhead, isn't he? Back to the dry track was the key. A master stroke, putting the blinkers back on him, and just a beautifully rated ride by Collett. When they put the pressure on, I thought they're going to outspread him on the turn, but they got tired quicker than him. He rallied back on the inside, and he was too good for Soul of Spain, who's run bravely there. Tommy Berry saved ground along the inside there and just darted up there late. But I think Ali's with Jason Collett now.
Yeah, he's actually ponying me at the moment, so that says a lot about it. You can lead all the way in a Sydney Cup, and then you can lead me back and pony me.
Yeah, thanks, Ali. Yeah, this is awesome. I must say, well done to Chris and the blinkers. And my manager, Brian Haskins, I didn't quite have as much faith as they had leading into it, so this is awesome. He just tugged along lovely the whole today compared to last start on a shifty ground, so I did get a lot of confidence there, and it's pretty cool.
It's special. I can see how much it means to you. You don't often get emotional, but I can see you about to get there.
Yeah, holding it together. It's pretty cool, I'll say that.
It's more than pretty cool, a Sydney Cup win, and to do it all the way in front of a crowd like this on such a big occasion.
It is, Ellie, yeah, and look, I do love leading on horses like that, like this, that they're happy in front and comfortable, and that was it. He was flowing in a lovely rhythm, and they get like that, we probably don't get the chance to ride sayers that often here in races like that. But yeah, it's a good feeling.
And the team behind you is important. You've got a young family, your wife, you are all in racing, your whole family. I know how much they mean to you.
Oh, huge. My family, Claire and the kids, went away for Easter, and yeah, it was a week, but it was a very lonely week and a lot tougher than I thought it would be. So they got back home last night, and yeah, it was great to put the kids to bed last night. It was, yeah, really good feeling.
You're a family man, you're a multiple Group 1 winner.